Matt Rule just does not have a clue on how to run it off.
Luke Getsky should be fired. He should be fired today.
I'll stand by you. My God, bro, you got smoke.
Welcome to Faze Fantasy Live with your host, Lonnie Z.
Welcome to the show, everybody. It's your boy, Lonnie Z, and this is Faze Fantasy Live. We have a big show in store for you tonight. We're going to be breaking down or previewing all of Week 3's games, Sunday to Monday. And we're going to give you our picks. We're going to give you some fantasy play, some DFS stuff. So we are packed and ready to go. Along with me tonight is my boy, Jake Hansen. What's going on, Jake? How are you, brother?
I'm doing good, Lonnie. I'm doing good. Ready to go. Week 3.
Right? Week 3. And, you know, hey, good job on the solo the other night. You bailed me out.
Thank you.
Now, you did pick the Bills, right?
Did pick the Bills.
Hey, that game was closer. If we recap it real quick, that game was a little closer than I thought it was going to be. I kind of figured Miami had to come out, though, because starting off 0-3 in the NFL is almost like a death sentence. What do you think about that game and how it played out?
Didn't think it was going to play out like that. I really thought Buffalo was going to just handle it, but Miami needed that game. Even that they lost, they needed that. Ollie Gordon played a little more than usual this past week and didn't do bad. Had a touchdown at the goal line. Tua got a touchdown to Waddle, and I mean, they didn't look too bad. I mean, he made the mistake again at the end of the game, and Miami as a whole made a mistake with that roughing the punter. But it's like the Bills; they just play to their opponent. It seems like, you know, they play to their opponent, and
yeah,
James Cook. As of right now, he's probably the best running back in fantasy wise in the NFL right now. James Cook, man, I didn't think so. I mean, he got his bag, and he's showing it why he got his bag. And Josh Allen just keep doing Josh Allen things. Kincaid looks like he's the tight end that we've been waiting for.
Bro,
and we waited 3 years, but just like with we were just talking about, Bills defense don't look as strong as promised this year.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, everything you said is spot on. I think all year we're going to go up and down with Keon Coleman. Yeah, I don't think they're going to have a feature wide receiver at all year. He'll have good games. He'll have mediocre games. He'll have bad games. I just think, and you're right about Kincaid. I drafted Kincaid and I dropped him before week 1. And then Ray and our league picked him up. So, yeah. And that's what I need. I need a good tight end. So I have Juwan Johnson, though, who's doing. But Juwan Johnson always starts off good, man, and then he just fizzles out. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it was a good game, man, and I agree. James Cook looked amazing. He's looked really, really good this year. Really, most consistent. I mean, this guy, he's looked real good. And there's a report that came in right before the game that they had said that Josh Allen wasn't going to run as much. That they asked him not to run as much. You know, they're trying to protect him, so they're not going to run him as much. And he didn't hardly run at all. He only ran a couple times. You know, he didn't get his yards. I think his yards was like 31. I don't think he got his yards. So maybe they're trying to keep him a little more healthy, you know, straight up. So, yeah, interesting game. Well, let's get into the slate, man. This is week 3 is always a pivotal week because you can either start off 3-0 if you're undefeated at this point, or go 2-1 or 1-2, which makes a huge difference. 1-2 to 2-1, or 0-3 to 1-2. That makes a big difference too. So week 3 is always real pivotal, and there's some real cool games on the slate. Let's get it started with the Colts and at the Titans. The Colts are a 4.5 point favorite. The over under is 43.5. What do you got in that game?
Colts and Titans. I'm going to keep running with the hot hand with the Colts. I'm gonna go with the under, and I'm gonna go with the Colts. Daniel Jones. Keep riding with Daniel Jones till he falls off. Jonathan Taylor, and I'm gonna go with Tyler Warren on the Colts side. If he's healthy, he's questionable right now with the toe injury.
Yeah. You know, Tyler Warren has looked good. The rookie tight end. And it's funny because the Colts historically haven't known how to use their tight ends, but they're seeming to know how to use this guy better. You know, and it could be because Daniel Jones too. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I got the Colts, and I'll take the points. The over under, man, I'm gonna. I'm just not sure if the Titans are gonna score, so I'll
That's
take
why I
the
said the
under.
under.
Yeah, I'll
That's what
take
I'm
the
looking
under
at
on
too.
that too, man. So, yep. Bengals at Vikings, crazy. When we saw this scheduled, on the schedule week 3, Bengals Vikings, we're thinking Chase Jefferson. At the time, you're thinking Burrow, McCarthy. How's
Hmm.
McCarthy doing? Well, we know how McCarthy's doing. He's not doing. He's out. And then Joe Burrow is out too. So you have the backup quarterbacks going at it. The Vikings are favored by 3, and it's a 41.5 over under. No one would have thought that in the beginning of the year. 41.5 is really low for these two teams, but I think it's a testament to how the Vikings defense has been playing so far this year. And Jake Browning is going to be. I don't know why everyone's worried about Jake Browning. He always seems to do well for Burrow when you almost can't tell. I mean, obviously he's not Burrow. Um, who do you got in this game?
I'm gonna go with the Vikings. Aaron Jones is out. I think Jordan Mason is going to be a great play this week. I'm a little afraid on the passing game with Wentz and all that, but if anything, I think this is the week that Hawkinson does something. You got a backup quarterback. He needs some comfort, and you can never go away from JJ, but to spend 9,000 for JJ this week or even Chase, but I mean, look, I got the Vikings to win and I got the over, but I feel more comfortable with Jake Browning passing to Chase this week than I do with Wentz and Jefferson, if that makes sense. But I still think that the Vikings will win the game, and I like Jordan Mason a lot on the Vikings side, and I like Chase Brown on the Bengals side.
Yeah. I man, we're thinking alike tonight. I do like the Vikings too. I do like the over. Even with those backup
Mm-hmm.
quarterbacks, I think we're going to get more than 42 points, 41.5 points out of this game. And I like the passing game better on the Bengals side for sure with Chase and T and Chase Brown out of the backfield. But I think if the Vikings can't keep Wentz protected, that last game with Atlanta, man, JJ McCarthy had no time at all to pass the ball. None. And his inexperience really showed
None.
because he couldn't figure it out. It was just boom, boom. I think Wentz would do a little better, but if he doesn't have any time, then the Vikings could be in big trouble. But I got the Vikings too. All right, Steelers and Patriots. Um, Steelers are 1.5 point favorites on the road, and it's a 44.5 point game. Uh, I I like the Patriots in this one, man. I like the Patriots, and I would say the under because just in my mind, I think Patriots defense, Steelers defense, but that isn't how it's been playing out this year. So I'm gonna go with the over, and I like the Patriots at home against the Steelers. Fantasy wise, DK Metcalf would be okay this week. I don't know. I don't like these fantasy players on this on either team. So Ramondre maybe I don't know, man. I don't think there's much to look for fantasy wise, like whether it's daily or what have you. Who do you got in this game?
I'm going to pick the under. I'm going to go with New England as well. I'm going to go with Drake May. I'm going to go with Ramondre. Like I said, I'm going to run with the hot hand this week. Ramondre looked good last week, and I'm going to run with,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to go on the Pittsburgh side, and I'm going to run with Pittsburgh's defense.
How about Janu?
He just hasn't shown too much, man. But I like Patriots to win this game, and I get the under.
All right, Rams Eagles. This should be a good game, bro. And I'll take this one first. I might surprise you. I like the Rams in this one, and yeah, 3.5. Their Eagles are favored by 3.5. It is in Philadelphia. 44.5 is the over under. I'll take the over on it, and I'll take the Rams. I like Karen Williams to get into the end zone this week. I like Puka. I always like me some Puka. I mean, you can't not like Puka. I don't like any Eagles receivers, even though one of them is due this week, and it's probably Devonta Smith before AJ. Because AJ, I don't know, man. I don't know why we've talked about that before with AJ. I like Hurts because I always like Hurts, running around, and maybe Goddard. But yeah, that's what I got.
I'm gonna go with
Oh, Saquon, my bad, bro. I forgot all about Saquon.
yeah.
Yeah, I like Saquon too.
I'm gonna go with the Rams as well. I'm gonna go with the over. I'm gonna go with Saquon as one of the leads. Saquon's tore back the Rams the last two games. They play with them. I'm gonna go with Hurts because you have to, and I'm gonna go with Goddard. I'm not gonna go with no Eagle receivers until I see something. They just cost too much. I mean, yeah,
Right.
this might be probably the week that AJ goes off, but it costs too much, man. And I like Puka and I like Kieran Williams on the Rams side.
Who do you got? Jets at Buccaneers. Buccaneers are 7-point favorites, 43.5.
You know, I really didn't want to see the Jets look this bad this year, to be honest with you. I didn't want to see them, but I really think Buccaneers going to win this game. You got Tyrod Taylor, I think, as the quarterback. I think Brees Hall will have a good game, but if they put 9 in the box, it's going to be a rough day for the Jets. I like the Buccaneers all the way around. I like Baker this week. I like Bucky Irvin. I like Mike Evans. On the Jets side, I like Brees Hall. And I got the Buccaneers, and you know what? I'm going to go with the over on this game as well.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I got the Bucks in the over. I think they're going to win by 7. I think that's not asking too much, a touchdown to win this game. I like Baker with Mike Evans,
Mm-hmm.
even though Sauce is probably going to be on him. And Emeka Ibuka is questionable still with the hip and groin. So if he doesn't play, then that could change, some things, because if they can put Sauce and then cover over the top on Mike Evans and just take him out of the game, I'm not sure who's going to catch the ball. Cade Otton, maybe. It's going to be a heavy dose of Bucky Irving, Sterling Shepard, you know. Yeah, so that's what you'll have if Ibuka can't go. But um, I do still like the Buccaneers, and I think Baker, like we said last year, he figured it out, and he's just a good quarterback now. And he's a real good fantasy quarterback actually too. He's pretty consistent. He's not, going to get you 30 on a consistent basis, but he'll keep you in the 19 to 24 range almost all the time. All right. Raiders at Commanders. This game is a little interesting. There's a lot on the line for both of these teams. They're both 1-1. Commanders are a 3-point favorite, 44.5 over and under. Who do you got?
Yeah. I'm going with the Raiders. I'm going with the under. I think this is a week that Janty's going to have a good game. Jaden Daniels is out. I like Debo this game. I like McCroskey. I like Krosky Merritt, Bill. You know what? I don't even know if I like Krosky Merritt, to be honest with you. I like Debo this week. I think a lot of screens and all that, but I can see Krosky Merritt having a big game. But I see Brock Bowers. They say he's healthy this week. I see him coming back normal, and I see the Raiders. I see Geno getting his head out of his ass and coming back this week and winning this game. And I got the under on this game.
Yeah. That's a good observation. Gino just looked really bad the other night on that Monday night game. He just looked real bad. So hopefully he does bounce back. I'm with you. I got the Raiders. I don't trust Mariota. I like Debo in this game. Been very consistent. He's a perfect fit for that Kingsbury offense. I don't like really a running back yet. I do have Krosky Merritt. I have Bill, and he's going to sit on my bench until I see him do something. Because even after Eckler left the game, they didn't, get it to Bill a lot, but it wasn't game plan for him either. So they had a whole week to figure out the game plan for him. So we'll see, and we'll see how good the kid is. And Terry McLaurin has just been kind of quiet. All their passing game really has been. So
I mean, he got paid. He's not doing nothing.
yeah. But the one that I do like is Zach Ertz, though. If I had to pick one of them, it'd be Zach Ertz. He's been, man, Zach Ertz has been that old dude. He just he's having a great year, man. First 2 games. I know it's only a small sample size, but you got to start somewhere. And he started off really good so far this year. Falcons at the Panthers. Falcons are a 5.5 point favorite, 43.5 over and under. Uh, Man, this would be a good upset game for the Panthers. It
Mhm.
really would be. I just can't pull the
Mhm.
trigger on it though. I'm gonna stick with the Falcons. I think they're just a better team. They're just a better team, and I like the over because what worked against JJ McCarthy and the Vikings may not work the same against Bryce Young. You know what I'm saying? And if the Panthers line is better, so I don't see them shutting
Mhm.
the Panthers
Mhm.
down the way that they shut down the Vikings the other night. Uh, if that makes sense. Even though I did grab their defense to stream it because that makes you're supposed to stream against the Panthers
Yeah.
this year. The defense is only mainly because of the mistakes. Bryce Young, throwing interceptions, things like that. But yeah, who do you got?
I'm going to go with the Panthers, and I'm going to go with the over. I'm going to go with Tech McMillan this week. The guy had a good game against Cardinals last week. I like Tech McMillan. I like Chuba this week. Falcons. I mean, I hate to say it because I thought they did a great job last week. I would hate to see them lose another game, have be 1-2. But I think this is a game for the Panthers to steal one. I think this is a game for the
Yeah,
Panthers to steal one, man. Last week
yeah,
they finally looked good at the end. They try to come back against the Cardinals, and I don't know if that was just the Cardinals giving up, but yeah, I like Bijan for sure though on the Falcon side, and I like
for
Kyle
sure.
Pitts. I like Kyle Pitts and Bijan this week on the Falcon side, but I like I like Chuba and Tep McMillan this week for the Panthers, and I like the Panthers to win.
I think Tet's had 19 targets in the first two games, 10 and 9. And so they're really trying to get him the ball. And last week he paid off.
Mm-hmm.
I like him too. I have him on my team. I do like Tet and I do like Bijan. I mean, you always like Bijan.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm with you on Pitts. I think Pitts is going to have a solid year this year. A good year. We'll see. And don't sleep on Penix.
No.
If you're looking to stream a quarterback, Penix would not be a bad stream this week. All right. Texans at Jaguars. This is a very interesting game, man. It's 2.5 point. Jaguars are 2.5 point favorites, 44.5 over under. It's in Jacksonville. I got the Jaguars to keep it, to get a win and go 2-1. They played tough on the road. Their defense makes things happen. Their defense is actually a good defense, man. It's a solid defense. I picked them up in one of my leagues, and I think I'm going to play them this week. And Texas just doesn't seem like can get it together. And as much as I hate to say this, Nick Chubb looks like he's kind of cooked. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if he's playing against real tough run defenses the first 2 weeks, but he doesn't have that explosion. And he had a pretty decent game because he scored a touchdown. But if you look at his yards per carry, they're not that great now. At week 1, it was like
Mm-hmm.
4.6 was nice, but week 2, he didn't get there. So I don't know. And it could be he's just still getting back into shape, but I like the Jaguars and I like the over, man. I'll take the over on this one. It's time for Trevor Lawrence to get his head out his ass and start really getting the ball to Thomas Jr. and to Travis Hunter. Because although he hasn't been horrible, he's missed he's left some stuff out there that could have really, helped all the fantasy owners that have him and help his team win too. So and I know Brian Thomas hasn't had the year yet. And we're just gonna have to see, man. They're saying it could be the wrist, but now he's not even got a status, an injury status at all. So I don't know, man. I don't know if it's a combination of those two guys just not connecting this year or what, but Brian Thomas Jr. does not look like the first round pick or the Brian Thomas Jr. of last year, right? I mean, everyone spent a lot of capital on this guy, and this is the week that he needs to start performing because he's talented. This kid is
A
talented.
lot.
So he needs to pick it up. And I think it starts with Trevor Lawrence. Who do you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Jags. I'm gonna go with the over. You know, sad to see. You know, it's hard to see the Texans. It's hard to see the Texans go 0-3. I was a little hesitant on picking the Jags, you know, because I kind of got like a soft heart for that for Coach Ryans, but
Oh,
I just, you know, I would really hate to see Texans go 0-3. You know how you said Lawrence needs to get his head out of his ass. I think C.J. Stroud needs to get his
yes.
head out of his ass. Like, bro, you're in season 3, bro, and you're going to turn into Anthony Richardson pretty quick. Like I watched the game last week, and I don't see anything special from the kid, man, at all. I'm just watching, like, man, what happened? Like, what happened? What happened? Nico still looks good, but I mean, as best as he can. But I mean, if anybody this week, I got Nico Collins, and I like Travis Etienne again. I hope he starts playing good. I hope he's consistent against good defenses as well. I would love to see him do good this week, and I like Brian Thomas Jr. this week. He's not on the injury report. I like Trevor Lawrence, but I like Brian Thomas Jr. this week. He needs to get it. He needs to get it going for sure.
Yep. Broncos, Chargers. Ooh, AFC West. Man, some matchups
Yeah,
that you just hear it and it's like,
yeah.
man, they have a history. These two teams do have a history, the Broncos, Chargers. It's in LA. Um, Chargers a 2.5 point favorite, 45.5 over. This Bronco defense, I don't know, man. It's good, but it's not great. I thought it was going to be better. And it maybe just one game because just the one game, wasn't so hot. But and they ran into a hot indie team too. I got the Chargers though. I just like what I'm
No,
seeing out of the Chargers. I think they're playing like a team, and I think they're only going to get better. I'm waiting to see something out of Omari on Hampton because once again, there's a lot of capital spent on this
mm-hmm.
guy too. He was going first, second round, about second round, but their defense, I don't know if I can't tell if Geno Smith just was that bad the other night or if the Chargers defense was that good. I think the Chargers defense is that good. I think their DBs are that good. They did the same thing to Patrick Mahomes in week 1 when they got the win. And I think that they're just good. So Bo Nix could have a tough day Sunday. Uh but I do like the Chargers. I'm not riding with Quentin Johnston this week, even though he's proven that he's a lot better. But I do like Lad McConkey to have a big game finally. Uh, on the Broncos side, I like JK, and I do like Bo Nix to have a better week though. Even though I said he can have a long day, but I think he could still have a good fantasy day. And I'm looking for something from Cortland Sutton, to be honest with you, man. I need Cortland Sutton to show up this week. What do you got?
I'm gonna go with the Chargers. I'm gonna go with over 45. I'm a little worried about Bo Nix this week. Just Chargers defense has been making the quarterbacks look helpless, man. And Khalil Mack is out. He's out for 4 games as of right now. Yeah, Armarian Hampton doesn't look fast. He looks slow. I don't know if it's just the game's too big for him right now, but they played Najee a lot more last week. We'll see about this week, but yeah, Denver's defense hasn't lived up to the hype yet. I still like Bo Nix. I still think he's maybe playing a quarterback like Herbert or a team like Chargers. They have to match. Maybe they keep up a little bit. Bo Nix didn't have a bad game last week at all. But I like Lad McConkey, and I like Quentin Johnson this week. Every week he's been doing something. He's been doing something every week.
That's true.
Every week. So, like I said, go with the hot hand, stay with the hot hand. And on Denver's side, I dropped RJ Harvey. I just been seeing the touches is dropping, for the first 2 weeks. I know it's only week 3, but man, I need, I seen Scattaboo, so I picked up Scattaboo. I seen him to taking over the Giants run game last week. So, only person I like on Denver is Bo Nix, and I like Sutton because I think he needs to turn up.
All right, Browns Packers.
Browns Packers 41.5. I'm going to go with Green Bay at 7.5. I'm going to go with Green Bay and the over. I'm going to go with the over because I think the Browns will score a little bit this week. I think this is Joe Flacco's last game if they lose. I think, like we talked about last week, why wouldn't it be, right? Why would you keep him in if you guys are 0-3? There's no reason. I like Judkins. I think, man, Judkins had like 15 touches last week, and it was just like they played him over everybody, but they like the kid. They do. But, who I really have this week is the Packers defense. I'm going to keep with the hot hand. Those guys look good, man. Browns defense has their looks as well. And Jordan Love, when I don't know, when you got Myles Garrett and Mason Graham down there and you got the two kids on the outside, man, the Browns defense doesn't look that bad. They just I don't know. I don't know if it's their offense not keeping up, but on the Brown side, I like Judkins, and I like I'm going to go with Judy this week. And on the Green Bay side, I like I'm going to go with Tyler Kraft, and I'm going to go with Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, Kraft gave him a little scare. They thought he was, he had a little injury, but yeah,
he's questionable.
Hopefully he'll be all right. Yeah, man, I like the Packers too. The Packers are 9.5-point favorites. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I got 7.5 on this one.
This one I have is 9.5. So either way, it's a pretty good spread there. What do you have? 41.5. I got the Fox report. Sir. It's like the 41.5. Yeah. My only concern with this game is it going to be a letdown game because the Packers are rolling and they should go into Cleveland because their first road game. The good thing is defense travels, so that shouldn't be a problem, but it could be a letdown game. And Quinshon Judkins, yeah, you're right. They just like, here you go. You just signed it. The ink is still wet. I don't care if you weren't in training camp. I don't get out there. That's pretty much what they did, right? So I'm kind of excited to see what this guy can do too. Yeah. He didn't have a bad game, his first game. The only thing is I like Tucker Kraft. If he's healthy, man, they're going to have to use him or get Matthew Golden going. They have to get the rookie going now because, Dontavian Wicks, he's had some big games here or there sprinkled in. Dobbs is probably going to be their number one guy now. Because, Jaden Reed is out with the broken clavicle. He had the surgery on the clavicle and then his foot surgery too, which is, man, that was right. It's the foot and the clavicle, which is, he had two surgeries. I don't know if he had them on the same day or just in the same week, but he had two surgeries, and that's he might be out for the year, with something like that. But yeah, I like the Packers too on the road, and I'll take them to just get it done. On the other side, maybe Jerry Jeudy. And you're right, Flacco. Yeah, this is it for him. Why not let Gabriel play? Why not? So, and I do like Josh Jacobs. I like Josh Jacobs. Mm-hmm. Okay. Seahawks and Saints. Seahawks. Seahawks are 7-point favorites. They're at home. 12th man, 41.5. I like the Seahawks. Straight up Seahawks. Their defense is too good. Seahawks defense is too good for Spencer Rattler, I think. And in that atmosphere, the 12th man is going to be going crazy. On New Orleans side, I think this is a perfect time to get Kamara going. You have to get him going in this game because you're going to need a run game. But that's one thing that the Seahawks do well is they stop the run. They're pretty good against the run. And Olave's just got to turn up, man. Olave really has to turn up. And it could be the quarterback play. I get it, So, and Jawan Johnson, you want to just keep him going. You just keep getting to the big guy. On the other side, Charbonnet may not play. He's doubtful right now to play. That means for all you Kenneth Walker owners out there, it's going to be a heavy dose of Kenneth Walker the third. I like Kenneth Walker in this one. He needs touches. He had a good game last week. He looked a lot better last week. So we'll see this week. So I would take Kenneth Walker for sure, and Kamara on the other side. If you have Kamara, you have to play him. But I don't know if I'm going to play him in DFS. Other than that, on the Saints side, I don't really like too many people. That's about it. Maybe Juwan Johnson's probably the only one I would really look at. I like Jackson Smith and Jigba. And man, you know who I'm expecting something from this week is Cooper Cup. I think that they need to get him involved a little bit more. They got him for a reason. I know he's up there in age and all that, but he's got to get some love. He got a little more targets, I think, last week than week one. That he was a little more involved, so that was good. We'll see if Darnold, we'll see what's up with Darnold this week. But yeah, who do you got in this game?
I'm gonna go with Seahawks at home. I'm gonna go with the over. I like Kamara on the Saints side. That's pretty much it. I know Rattler. He didn't have a bad game last week. But you're going to the 12th man, and it's gonna be crazy there. I'm gonna go with Darnold this week. I think Mac Jones had a good game against Saints last week. I see Darnold having a better game. And I see all the load is going to be on Kenneth Walker.
Yeah,
Load up pretty much. It's all him, and then I like Jigba. I like Jigba.
right.
I like Jigba this week too. I think he'll have a good game against the Saints, man. I mean, he's been solid the first two games. I think it's going to be probably domination with the Saints.
Probably will be.
For the Seahawks, yeah.
Cowboys, Bears, Cowboys at the Bears. The over under is 50.5. That's the second highest on the slate. Bears are 1.5 point favorite. I don't know how the Bears come out of this with a 1.5 point favorite, bro. I just don't. I don't understand who's doing the odds here. I don't get it. Maybe because I thought the Bears were going to look way better than they do look, and to me, they don't look good at all. I like the Cowboys in this one. I like CeeDee Lamb to find the end zone. I like him to get a touchdown. I love Williams still. I like how he looks in that uniform, man. Javanta's found himself again. Dak, I said Dak looked bad last week, and I think about that. Man, he had 24 fantasy points. He still put up the numbers, so I have to take that back. Sorry, Dak, man, my bad, brother. I'll eat some crow on that one. He didn't look bad. He just didn't look as spry as he did in week one. I guess the way it came out was like, oh, he looked horrible. He didn't look horrible. He did. I mean, they scored 40 points or something like that. So it's like he didn't look that bad. And maybe Pickens gets involved a little more because he got a little more involved last week. So maybe they're going to try and ease him more into the game plan. But on the Bear side, definitely this is a Caleb Williams game and a Rome game, but I'm not drinking that Kool-Aid from last week, Rome's big old day. Yeah, Rome's a good receiver. I would take DJ Moore. I like DJ Moore more this week than I do Rome. And maybe it's a hunch or whatever, but I just think DJ needs to get involved. They're saying that he's fallen out of favor, that he may even be traded at the deadline and all this stuff. But I like DJ to have a good day. And I don't really like the Bears run game, but Cowboys have been like hemorrhaging against opposing RBs. So you kind of got to go with Swift. It wouldn't be a bad play, whether it's in DFS because he's kind of affordable. And if you have him on your team, you're starting him in redraft. But yeah, so I got Cowboys and bro, neither one of these teams play good defense. So I'll take that over, bro. I'll take the 15.5. What do you got on the game?
I'm gonna go with the Bears. I'm gonna go with the Bears at home. Giants from week 1 to week 2. Dallas made the Giants look like a Super Bowl team, man. And I'm gonna go with the Bears. I'm gonna go with Caleb having a good game. I'm gonna go with Swift having a good game. I'm gonna go with Rome. I'm gonna go with Rome also. With Rome, but I agree with you for DJ Moore. He has to get going. I like Javonta on the other side. I like CeeDee Lamb. And I like CeeDee Lamb. I think the Bears defense needs to step up. I think being in Chicago, that's the only reason I'm picking the Bears to win this game. And I'm going to pick the under.
One person I left out was Jake Ferguson. I like him too. So,
Yeah, I was gonna bring him up, but yeah,
all right. This game's kind of meaningless, so I don't know. We could probably just skip over it. Cardinals Niners.
yeah, why
Cardinals
not?
Niners.
Everybody's
Cardinals Niners.
Niners.
This should be a good game, man. They always play each other tough. Niners are 2.5 point favorites, 45.5 over under. Mac Jones is calling the plays again um, until Purdy gets back. It didn't look like it was a great drop off, but there's more involved. Juwan Jennings, is he? I know he's questionable. Is he going to be good to go?
Yeah, they're not saying, just questionable.
Yeah, and Pearsall, that's a lot of pressure to put on a second year receiver. But I got the Niners in this game still. On the other side, I'm hearing that this is the start for Kyler Murray. That's what I'm hearing. I'm not sure if I like that though. And I'm not sure what Cardinal I really like this week other than Trey McBride. I always like Trey McBride, no matter what. And Marvin Harrison Jr. We'll see. If you have him in redraft, you have to play him. But I don't know if you play him in DFS. So yeah, I like the Niners to win this game and to keep it rolling, go 3-0. This is they're both undefeated, and this is going to be the Cardinals' toughest test. They have not played anyone yet. When you look at it, and the Niners, they really haven't either. Who did the Niners play? They played Seattle, which was a good team, I think. So they at least played one real tough opponent, and then they played the Saints. It's a little tougher game. Purdy wasn't there. What do you got?
I'm gonna go with the Niners. I just wish we were more of a healthy team this week. I know the Cardinals are banged up also. I mean, but our captain, our quarterback. I mean, both our captains are out with Kittle, but our quarterback's out, man. And, Mac Jones is still a backup. He's not the starter. He's still kind of in the first quarter against the Saints he struggled a little bit. So I'm worried about it. I wish we had our full squad. I think we would beat the Cardinals. I really do. Watching the Cardinals' last two games, I just don't see nothing special. The Cardinals have a couple of their cornerbacks got hurt. 2 or 3 of them are out. The Cardinals are banged up on defense. Kyler Murray against the Niners lately he's just been finding a way to beat us. It's always been last play or just a bunch of I don't know. I just can't put my finger on it. But I like McCaffrey. Always has big games against Cardinals. I like Ricky Pearsall. If I can't really say Jawan if he plays, I like Jawan too, but I like Ricky Pearsall this week. And on the Cardinals side, the run game for Cardinals hasn't really turned up yet lately. It's kind of hard for me to say Connor. I thought Connor would have did something last week. Didn't really show up against the Panthers. If anybody, I mean, maybe I'll just throw a dart at the board, close my eyes. I'm going to say Marvin Harrison. But do I really think he's going to have a great game? Not really. I mean, he hasn't shown anything, man. Even against the Carolina, he didn't show nothing. So, but last time the Niners played him at home, Marvin had an okay game, and they won the game on a Hail Mary, just a pass that he caught for first down. They won by a field goal. So I'm going to go with Marvin Harrison against the Niners, but I got the Niners to win that game and the over.
Yeah. I'm gonna circle back to that game real quick. Yeah, McCaffrey. Sometimes like the guys who are just like they're always going to be a pick. Like McCaffrey. Like I miss Saquon. McCaffrey. You kind of I sometimes I just forget about those guys, but yeah, for sure McCaffrey. And historically though, Connors seems to do pretty well against you guys for some reason. He like has good games against you guys. So James Conner, he could. You're right. He has not looked the same, but he's due. A lot of these Cardinal offensive players are due this week, and let's see if we can't get Trey McBride into the end zone. I don't know if you and I talked about this, but in high school, I think he only had 2 touchdowns his whole high school career, and in college, I think he only had 2 touchdowns his whole college career. So this is what he does. No one knew that. But he doesn't score touchdowns. He gets a lot of catches, yards, but for some reason, it's been his whole history. He does not score touchdowns. I wish I would have known that stat before I drafted him in, as early as I did this year. But I look for him to get in the end zone. All right. Sunday night game, you have the Chiefs and the Giants in New York. Kind of funny, man. I don't recall these two teams playing each other too often.
No,
It's six Chiefs are 6-point favorite and it's 45.5. Well, who do you have in this game?
I'm gonna go to the Chiefs, and I'm gonna go with the under. I think you're gonna see a lot different team what the Giants did last week. I think everybody had or was on the Russell Wilson hype. I think everybody wants to see the Chiefs to lose. I've been hearing a lot on the radio. They want to see the Chiefs go 0-3. That would just make everybody's day, and it would make my day. But I think the Chiefs are they've been in the Super Bowl for the last 3 years. I see the Chiefs winning. Mahomes been running. He's been running a lot lately. He has to figure it out. It's hard to pick anybody on the Chiefs for fantasy, to be honest with you. I just don't know who to. You're flipping a coin. I think Kelsey has been probably the best receiver on that team for the last 2 weeks. If you look at yards and targets, on the Giant side, Malik Neighbors. That's it. But I got the Chiefs win, and I got Mahomes on the Chiefs side. But I got Neighbors on the Giant side. And I like Cam. I like Scatterboo. They're starting to use him. I know it only was 2 games, but last week they used him quite a bit, and I can see him just getting more and more in the playbook.
Yeah,
But I got Neighbors on the Giants side, Mahomes on the Chiefs side, and Chiefs to win.
yeah. I got the Chiefs. Isaiah Pacheco needs to get it going,
Mm-hmm.
bro. 10 carries, 22 yards. I, I mean, I could probably do 10 carries and get 16 yards, maybe. You know what I'm saying? And I'm damn near 60 years old. There's no excuse for 10 carries, 22 yards. I in that offense, and not unless they're just not opening holes or whatever the case is. But 10 carries, 22 yards is pathetic. And so I think Isaiah Pacheco needs to figure it out this week. If he doesn't, Patrick Mahomes has led them in rushing the last 2 weeks. He's been their leading rusher, and that's
That's what I'm
crazy.
saying.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. He's been
yeah. So I'm with you. You can't really pick anyone on the offensive side. They're still, for fantasy, they're not a fantasy team, but they're still a football team, and they're still a good football team, and they have that pedigree. So I think they're going to beat the Giants. And their defense is still tough. I think they're going to beat the Giants. I do like Neighbors, always like Neighbors. And I do like Scatterboo, man. He's from ASU, local kid from Arizona. I watched him a little bit last year. Beast. The dude's a beast, man. He's like his will. He's just like a bowling ball. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
So, but other than that, yeah, I'm with you. Nothing to see here. Sunday night. It's a weird Sunday night matchup. It doesn't have the the flair, of some Sunday night games. So, we'll see how it goes. All right, the last one on the slate is the Monday night game. There's a lot of hype about this game. To be honest, I don't know why. And that sounds crazy because of the teams. Lions, Ravens, Monday night. Ravens 4.5-point favorite, 53.5 over under. The Lions don't play good on the road, bro. They're not just like great. They don't do what they do on the road the same that they do at home in that dome. They just don't. They don't score like that. They look like totally different. I look for the Ravens to whoop them, to be honest with you. I like the Ravens in this game, and I like for Derrick Henry to get it back on track, to stop fumbling the damn ball, get it back on track. I like Lamar, Henry. I like Flowers again. People were saying, well, Flowers, yeah, he starts off like this, and they don't know how to pass. But this is like the 3rd season, I think, of Todd Monken.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the 3rd or 4th season that he's took over that offense. I think Lamar's really getting comfortable in this offense, and he's throwing to the receivers a little more. He's getting it to Flowers. He's getting it down the field to DeAndre Hopkins. Man, that's crazy. You got Lamar, you got, King Henry, and you got D-Hop, in their prime. Those 3, were like the best,
Crazy.
and they're still really good. D-Hop is on
Mm-hmm.
the one who's the most on the decline, but Lamar and King Henry are still really good. But yeah, I like the Ravens in this. Isaiah Likely may make his first appearance of the year. It's still not for sure, but they're saying he's trending that way. That's going to help because Andrews is not really. They don't really use the tight end much anyway. They use Likely more than Andrews in the way they do it. Yeah. So I like the Ravens. I like the on the other side in a game like this. You gotta like Gibbs. No matter what, you like Gibbs. I do like St. Brown. He's having a real solid season. To start off with, he's having a pretty good season. Um, and maybe a lot of people are saying Williams is going to really keep excelling and keep excelling. That they're really putting in packages for him. So we'll see. I wouldn't be scared to take Williams, especially in DFS. I think he's like 6,300 or something like that in FanDuel. So, but I do like the Ravens to win this. What do you got?
Yeah, I think I agree with you. At first I was leaning towards Detroit, then I was looking at it and listening about it, and you're right. I mean, Detroit drops off a lot when they play away, and especially it's gonna be in Baltimore Monday night game. I mean, I got the over. I got Baltimore to win. I think Lamar's gonna go off. Derrick Henry's gonna step up. He has to. The Browns, he didn't show up. I like Likely if Likely plays. If Likely plays, I like Likely. He always has big games on Monday night and Thursday nights, on big time games. I like Aaron St. Brown on the other side. I like Jameson Williams this weekend too. This week, I really do like Jameson Williams against Baltimore. They need to get them all going with Gibbs. I think they need to get all three of them going. So yeah, I picked Baltimore with the over.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
yeah, and I hope it's a good game. I hope it's like a back and forth.
Yeah.
35 to 42. The Ravens have scored 40 plus points in both their games this year. Crazy, and they're 1-1. That's the craziest part. But yeah, so there you have it. There are all the games previewed. We kind of got you up to date on who's available, who's not, and gave you our picks. Go out and smash your league this week. I'm Lonnie. He is Jake. Thanks for listening, and we will catch you on the next one.